never been. When we dance again, all our trouble seems to fade away. This is how I feel when you take me to some places that I've never been. When we dance that I've never been. That I've never been. That I've never been.
Remaining, ball on the blue side. It's not gonna happen. STMC Gold take the grand final.
Because with live sport cancelled and footy fields deserted, there's never been a better time to be a gamer.
Second attempt, but no boost to fall through. He's trying desperately to get another touch, but he just cannot get there. And with 5 seconds remaining, that could have been the last attempt. Colt's gonna get one more goal in. And STMC Gold take game number 1 with that goal right there. Granted,
playing online games in a school uniform is now the next big thing.
Bonnie is now in a position. The C4 comes out, melts out. Lightning can't get the follow-up frag.
This is the world of esports, aka sporting comps played via online games.
Good afternoon, everybody, and welcome to the XPHSL Rocket League of Rockets. XP. I still really need to come up with a proper title for everything, but what is more important is that it is now week 3 of our second season of high school Rocket League action here at XP Esports, and just like our past couple weeks, we're going to have 2 best of 5s to bring to you this afternoon. One of them is going to be a rematch of what we saw last week, and then our second match of the day, we're going to be seeing a new team take to the pitch. So a bit of old school, a bit of new school. We're gonna mix it up. We're gonna have some fun, but before we get into the upcoming action, a big thank you to our sponsors for this event. Of course, there is the Computer Alliance, which is helping provide all of the equipment that is being used, as well as ZQ Racing, this comfortable chair I'm sitting in. These 2 sponsors have been working with us throughout the entirety of this tournament, and really last season as well. As you can take a closer look at one of these chairs right here, adjustable armrests, 180 recline. That internal steel frame means it's not going to break, and they have many different sizes to sort of, accommodate for you. It depends what you want. Do you want a big old chair? Do you want something that's a bit sleeker, a bit neater? Well, they have something for everyone. Furthermore, a big thank you as well for the Canberra Havoc for sponsoring and helping provide coaching for that winning team. They are sort of like that big RLCS sponsor that we are working alongside with. Their roster is back to what we saw last year. Some Walcott, some Spydoge, and some Leduc. The RLCS Season 10 is actually kicking off pretty soon, so thank you and good luck to them. I'm excited to see how they're going to go with this new format. However, back to me and back to this upcoming action. I said before we're getting a bit of a rematch, and it's going to be the OC Redbacks 2 taking on STMC Black. Now, last time St. Thomas More did get the win 3-0. St. Thomas More, they also are the defending champions in this league. So, I'm not sure this is the same lineup that was that defending champion side. However, St. Thomas More has kind of been that school to beat, and OC Redbacks are going to have their second crack at it this afternoon. They fell short last week. They did go down 3-0, but perhaps this time we could see them turn it around. I'm always going to be a bit of a skeptic. I do kind of feel as if St. Thomas More should be able to win this series, but I am not expecting it to be a 3-0 again. I do think we are going to be seeing a closer matchup. And on that note, we will be seeing these players get to the pitch any moment now, because I know I'm ready to go. I'm feeling you guys at home are ready to see this action. So as soon as that players get that A-OK, we will be kicking this one off. So I do have access to the Twitch chat. I just want to point that out there right now. I can't see all you there in that Twitch chat. So if you have anything to say, any questions, any comments, want to support your team on, please, please, please get vocal. Might be able to shout you out if you're lucky. Who knows? We might even get another game of hang car going like we had last week, which was pretty fun. And so I just want that interaction as players are jumping onto the pitch right now, though, so we don't need to listen to myself ramble on much further. OC Redbacks will be in blue, consisting of Betryax, Frank, and Zafrax. STMC Black, well, they're going to be orange today with Lemon Juice, Kenneth, as well as Luca. These are your lineups. These are your teams. Hey there, Sailing Liam. How you going? I hope you're excited as I am, because we are kicking this action off. Again, Redbacks in blue, STMC Black in orange, and it is STMC Black nearly finding that first shot. It's Lemon Juice with the follow-through, will get the goal. Luca gets credited for the assist despite, sort of missing that spike attempt right there, just a little bit off that left crossbar, but the speed of STMC Black already on display. You can see when they have that opening straight in front of the net, well, they're going to strike straight down the middle and find those goals. So 1-0 at the moment for STMC Black. They are the favorites, and they already have shown us why. It's now up to the OC Redbacks to try and find an answer. Zafrax and Betryax each struck in the box at the moment. Zafrax looks to be going for a bit of a slow push, but just gives possession right back over to Kenneth. Gets past two defenders, forces the third out of the box. There was a brief moment that net would have been open, but STMC not able to capitalize on it just fast enough. Kenneth trying to clear it past mid-pitch. Getting disrupted for now. It's actually a pass back as Kenneth pushed another one on target. Betryax, first defender out of the box, does push it forward. Now Frank is feeling a little bit antsy. I'm kind of watching his positioning right there. It was a very, very tight spacing, and that's what opened the door for Lemon Juice to go over the top. Double commit on the attack means no third car will be able to strike it over the middle, and this could be the opening for the Redbacks to maybe find a counterattack. Zafrax pushing all the way up to the corner. Betryax with the delayed push actually pays off for the Redbacks, but cannot follow the ball through the corner. Frank might get a shot as it was an awkward pass from STMC. Doesn't have the height, though, to beat out the defense. Frank again going to go for it. Gets a knock off the ceiling. Betryax from straight down the middle didn't have the muscle to force it past. I believe it was Lemon Juice who did jump up to contest. So Redbacks not afraid to go up and take those shots. However, the defense will hold strong for the STMC side initially. A minute and a half into our opening game. This is going to be a best of 5. So even if the first game might not necessarily go your school's way, there will be plenty of time to come back into this one. Frank goes for the shot. Lemon Juice actually wins the 50, and that ball's going the other way. Luca overshoots it, but that's all right because Kenneth from behind takes the shot. It falls off that top crossbar, and the Redbacks defense has some time to breathe, or do they? Another shot from Lemon Juice goes a little bit wide. More shots bouncing off the crossbar. Kenneth had a chance, but couldn't make contact with the ball. Missed opportunity for STMC, and now you can see the Redbacks trying to find their answer. Frank gets the pass across the box, but Betryax too far back to turn that into a legitimate challenge. Luca now going for a clear. It's a slow pass to Kenneth. Doesn't quite fake out Frank, who goes for a boost instead of ball, paying off as Kenneth did push the ball high up on that backboard. Lemon Juice with a nice little flick, gets past one defender, cannot get past the second. Betryax keeping that offensive pressure for the Redbacks. Ball in a dangerous spot. Frank with the shot, pushes it high. And that was an equalizing opportunity, unfortunately missed for the Redback side. Counterattack coming from STMC, and that's going to be a goal. It looked like an own goal as we're going to watch the replay right here. You can see Lemon Juice pushing it forward. Betryax kind of was put in an awkward position to try and make the save, but just wound up drilling it into their own goal. A small disaster for the Redback side, and one that might cost them this opening game. Now they're sitting 2 goals down. Lemon Juice will be the first one trying to push with possession. Actually loses out to it. Kenneth from underneath just drops the ball right over to Zafrax. Luca not wanting to go forward. I like the patient play. Patient defense coming from STMC. Kenneth doesn't make contact yet again. Luca's going to be the one to try and play through the corner. Actually beats Frank's out challenge. I said Betryax still holding on. Luca still pushing forward. Passes up to Kenneth, who takes a shot. Not a lot of power behind that, and Frank's able to make the catch and dump it right back down to Zafrax. Lemon Juice, again, slow push, opens the door, and Kenneth will shut it down. 3-0 right now for STMC. As we watch the replay right here, the defense kind of double commits on that first attempt. Betryax does get a touch on it, but it looked like Frank actually got bumped out of the play, and thus there was no third defender. open net for STMC as they take a massive 3-0 lead. This is looking very, very good for this orange side, looking very good for the school that we have high expectations for, and kind of similar to the performance that we saw last week, just a little bit faster and a little bit more disciplined on both attack and defense right now is this STMC gold side. So Frax and Frank kind of pass it together right now. Frank's going to be the one pushing forward, gets the ball off the backboard, but Triax might be able to find that opening, but instead just delivers it right back to Luca from underneath Kenneth. Cannot get the touch. Going to have to fall back, at least for now. It's actually going to be the other side pushing forward. Lemon Juice throws it up off of the ceiling. Down we go. Luca, oh, poor read. Could open a doorway for a clearing, perhaps, as Frank tries to muscle it down the center, but didn't get enough power behind it. So once again, it'll be caught by STMC as we hit our final minute in this opening game. But Triax trying to pass it to Zafrax, and I like that pass. Unfortunately, Zafrax unable to get the height to catch it, but that's the kind of dynamic offense that I'm going to be looking to see from the Redbacks if they're going to find a way to break STMC's defense. Zafrax going to buy some time, gets the ball into the corner. Attackers bumping into each other, but Batrax doesn't have the boost nor the speed to really punish Luca, who was that third defender. The Frax might be able to find something, though, but Luca able to hold the corner down. A great individual defensive effort right there does stop the Redbacks' attack, and that's exactly the sort of play that we are expecting from that top team, and it's why this STMC gold side is so hard to score against, because any player can sort of put forth that individual effort and almost like, you know, take on two or sometimes three opponents at once, and then that opens the door for the rest of the team. So very strong performance coming out of STMC as we hit the dying seconds in this opening game. We'll be curious to see if they can get one more goal in. That doesn't look to be the case this time around. Zafrax puts one last touch towards the net, and that was going to go in had time been working for them. Instead, they'll have to settle for that 3-0 victory. 2 goals for Lemon Juice, as he will get the MVP for our opener. Kenneth as well gets a goal for himself. But I think the thing that's very interesting to me, and I think the most important takeaway from that opening game, 7 shots taken by STMC Black with only 1 shot taken by the OC Redbacks. It wasn't as if the Redbacks were playing particularly poor defense or offense as well. It's just there were so few opportunities for them to really get the attack. And STMC did such a good job in getting strong first and second defensive touches that forced OC to sort of fall back almost immediately and really play a more conservative game than they perhaps would like. Now, OC Redbacks, they did look pretty comfortable on defense. They were doing a good job sort of staying back and, for the most part, keeping the ball out of the goal. For the most part, they were playing pretty disciplined. The one goal in particular, that third goal that stands out in my mind, wasn't a case of, you know, overcommitting on defense as much as it was a strong bump play coming out of SDMC. However, those initial defensive touches need to improve. I want to see more of those pass plays to really throw off SDMC. I know they're hard to pull off, but that's kind of what the OC Redbacks have to do if they're going to want to take this series, as we will be sort of taking a little bit of a longer break before we get into our next game, which, you know, that's all well and good because there's stuff besides Rocket League worth bringing up, as we have a special sort of situation happening today, as XP Esports has gone ahead and teamed up with Intel to provide, you know, Marvel Avengers beta codes for this upcoming weekend on the 14th and the 16th. Every team that wins will be receiving 3 beta codes for its players to get out there and sort of give this game a try while it's still in beta. It's more prizes really being given away, and you don't even need to win the tournament. You just got to win this week. So STMC, they're well on their way right now for sort of getting one of those PC beta codes, or 3 of them realistically, as every player would get them. And if the OC Redbacks, if they want to get in on that Marvel action, well, this is their time to do that. So a big thank you to Intel Esports for teaming up with us here at XP to provide these codes for these young players, as we are kicking off, it looks like, into game number 2, or not quite yet. So we're still going to continue. And, like, look, I'm not going to sugarcoat it, all right? Marvel's pretty sweet. It's so good. I even, you know, this is how excited I got, all right? Halloween's coming early. We're getting close to October. Got my mask on the ready. Just going to mix it up. My middle name is Thor, so he is my favorite, and this is how it be, all right? This is how it be when Marvel's on the horizon. This is what those players are playing for, some sick Avengers action. I mean, Thor obviously is the best Avenger, right? He has the giant hammer, smashes people up. I think he's like one of the only superheroes who can actually like rival the Hulk in terms of bulk strength. Thor, criminally underrated. And yes, this is comic book Thor, not movie handsome, rugged Thor. This is the true Thor right here. All I need is my hammer. All I have is a pen instead. And I know people say pen is mightier than the sword, but it is not mightier than the hammer. And that disappoints me. Suppose I'll have to draw my own hammer sometime in the future. That said, we are waiting for the players to get back onto the pitch. Do not fret. Game 2 will be starting soon. And yes, I still can see the game while wearing this. And oh, I cut out for a bit. That's unfortunate. But I'm still here. You don't need to fret about that. I'm not going anywhere. I mean, who's Max? I am clearly Thor. Norse hero. Okay, I'm taking this off. It actually is hard to see wearing that thing. I'm not gonna show you. Maybe I'm more of a Captain America person. I'm American. Let's see how this one looks. I'm curious. We're gonna try on all these masks as we wait. This is what we're doing. Yeah, that actually looks a little bit better. I feel kind of fits my jaw structure a lot more. Obviously, the nationality is there. I do live in Australia, and I'm an Australian citizen, but you can't get past the accent. That's why there's the big A on my forehead. So I don't know. Captain America feels pretty good. It feels pretty comfortable. And of course, though, if you're not a fan of Captain America, there's also Green Screen Hulk, which yeah, we're going to avoid that one. But definitely, have some masks we can play around with as we're going to be waiting to get into our second game. A brief reminder, it was SDMC Black that took our opening match. It was 3-0. It was a pretty comfortable 3-0, 7 shots to 1. So if the OC Redbacks want to get back into this series, they're going to need to find ways to break that offensive attack and create more scoring opportunities for themselves. I'd like to see a bit more pass plays. I'd like to see stronger defensive touches just in terms of, I suppose, power behind it, making sure you really drill that ball in its sweet spot. A lot of the 50-50 challenges also did go STMC's way, and that's something to take into consideration as finally we are back onto the pitch, kicking off our second game in this one. Luca gets a nice touch. Trying to follow through, but it's actually Batriax playing mid-pitch, and you can see both sides going one at a time. Frank able to get one of those powerful touches I was talking about before. However, Zafrax staying back on defense. He could have pushed forward, I feel like, instead sitting all the way back. Tries to get that booming defensive touch. Instead, kind of just dropped it back down to the rest of the Redback side. Lemon Juice actually getting one of those booming clears that I was talking about before. Kenneth, unfortunately, unable to catch the pass. So 30 seconds in. Both sides got a little bit of offense going, but nothing too crazy just yet. No initial shots. Lemon Juice should be going for the challenge. Steals it away from Zafrax. Isn't able to turn it into a full shot yet. Kenneth puts it up. Was trying to pass, but 2 defenders in the way. Double commit actually coming from SDMC and nearly puts them in an awkward situation, but Batriax was going for a sweeping sort of line right there all the way around the back corner. As a result, we don't really see STMC look to punish just yet. Zafrax, again, trying to keep the offensive pressure there. Frank from underneath is actually not going to have the play as Luca sort of steals it away. I'm liking the mix-ups coming out of STMC. It is keeping the OC Redbacks kind of on their toes, but the patient play paying off as the OC Redbacks are able to read a lot of these sneaky touches. Luca, again, playing off of Lemon Juice's fake. Zafrax able to get possession, but gets bumped off by Frank, it looked like. So a little bit of team disorganization actually starting to rear its ugly head for the OC Redbacks as they get in each other's space. Kenneth trying to buy some time to get possession himself, but Zafrax steals it away and tries to turn it into a bit of an OC Redback attack. Lemon Juice over the middle. The one with possession gets the ball into the corner. Good follow through coming from Kenneth. Ball in the box. We could see our first shot. Instead, Frank actually is able to clear it the other way. Luca, fantastic touch, gets it back onto the blue side, and Batriax, instead of going for that booming hit, tries to go for a bit of a solo dribble play, and that works against the Redbacks as Kenneth now finds the avenue to spike that ball in. It took just over 2 minutes, but SDMC continue to hold on to their lead. Nice spike coming from Kenneth right underneath that crossbar. Nothing but net, as some would like to say. So STMC, they have a fantastic little lead for them right now, 1-0, just like their series score at this stage. Again, OC Redbacks kind of playing defense on their own box. Zafrax will be the one trying to push it forward. Luca able to catch it, but Zafrax in his face immediately puts a shot on target. And finally, the OC Redbacks are able to get a point in this series. Luca's touch, not the one he was looking for. Kind of just pass it right past to Zafrax, who lobs the ball in. A cheeky little touch, a delicate one, if nothing else, coming from the Redbacks. And that's how they find their equalizer. So one apiece. And this is the best situation the Redbacks have been in yet, it feels like, in their sort of matchups against STMC Black. So Frax keeping that pressure on the net. Beatrix nearly finds the goal. Frank, good tight rotation, is being challenged by Kenneth. Actually beats Kenneth out. Lemon Juice is going to go for the clear. It's an awkward touch. However, Luca is able to catch it from behind, continuing to push it towards that blue net. Luca with the fall through in the corner. Ball in a dangerous spot. Kenneth, no boost, cannot go up for the shot. However, once he collects boost, he can't get the pressure there, as there's a very slow clear coming from the Redbacks in this situation. Ball in the box, shot from Kenneth will be good, and it is a 2-1 lead for STMC. Watching it one more time, Luca playing through the corner, just delivers a perfect pass to Kenneth. Frank trying to play defense from underneath, did not pre-jump that quite quick enough, and I do believe it was Betrax who was trying to come from that left-hand corner, or right-hand corner, I should say. Didn't really have the speed to get there in this instance. Lemon Juice trying to find a way past that mid-pitch line. Not going to get too much just yet. Frank goes for the challenge, loses out for Luca, caught by Betrax, but Luca able to follow it through. Again, here comes STMC on the attack, but Lemon Juice playing a bit passively on his own side of the pitch means the attack will quickly be stopped. So they didn't have that offensive pressure to maintain it. Pass coming off of the wall right now. Ooh, an awkward miss from Luca, but Kenneth still gets it the backward pass, intercepted by Betrax, and I don't think there was anyone there to take the shot. It does appear as if STMC Gold not really playing as far up the pitch as we saw in that opening game. They're more content to play a defensive showing. That might have to do with the goal that was scored against them earlier in this matchup, as they recognize, yes, OC can score on them, and they have to make sure they still have defenders at any given moment, especially if they're looking to hold on to their lead. However, I feel like there has been a couple chances where they could have extended their lead by playing a little bit more aggressive. Open net momentarily was shut down by Luca. Lemon Juice, again, a pass into the box, and here comes Luca going for the spike. Top crossbar, gets in the way. Kenneth with the fall through, can't get the power behind it as Betrax was there for the save. Here comes the counter attack, but Frax misses the ball. That's okay. Frank goes up, but Luca was there to challenge. Challenge won by STMC, and now here comes Lemon Juice all the way. Muscles it past the defender, and a 3-1 lead with under a minute to go might ice this second game. Nothing quite as refreshing as some iced lemonade, or lemon juice as we call it when we don't add the sugar or the water. Still 3-1 in favor of STMC, and they are looking very comfortable in this lead. Kenneth gets the touch over the top of Frax, but Frank will still keep some offensive pressure going for the Redbacks, who are desperate to get a goal at this stage. They need to turn this attack into a point, otherwise game 2 will be out of reach. And Frax has the chance, gets the backward pass over to Betrax, and that's going to be the goal that they needed. So, under the pump a bit, the pressure was there. Frank able to set up Frax to the backward pass to Betrax, and that's going to be the goal. Defense kind of left in a bit shambles right there. A fantastic team effort to keep OC in this matchup. Still, just under half a minute, and the OC Redbacks need to find one more goal. Betrax going to try to push it past mid-pitch. Got challenged initially, but still able to maintain possession. No more boost, however, as he throws the ball into the box. Off the backboard, Luca goes for a clear. It's a weak touch. They need to challenge this, and Frank is able to get there. However, it's a double commit, which means Betrax is on his own. Kenneth beats him out, and that is the offensive pressure gone. Frank doing what he can to try to keep any semblance of this game to continue, but it will not be enough as STMC Black go ahead and take game number 2. 3-2 that final scoreline, a closer game than what we saw in our first one. However, the OC Redbacks, they started to look clutch. They were not quite clutch enough. I liked the attacks that OC Redbacks were able to actually put on the pitch when they were attacking. I think that second goal in particular really showed that the OC Redbacks offense can be dynamic. They can use the backboard to pass to each other. However, those attacking opportunities have just been so few and far between, and a lot of that has to do with how quickly STMC has been playing, particularly around the middle of the pitch, particularly with their offensive rotations. OC Redbacks, they still been struggling to get those strong defensive touches, and that's giving STMC a lot of time to sort of react to it, especially with STMC playing a bit further back than what we saw in that first game. They were giving themselves even more time to react, and that you would think it would have made it more difficult for the OC Redbacks, although I do have to admit OC Redbacks were able to find more opportunities in that second game. So perhaps in game number 3, STMC will again sort of approach it a bit more aggressively, just really try to keep all their cars on that blue side of the pitch. OC Redbacks, if they want to win this series, well, they're going to have to start right now. They've got to win their next 3 in a row. It's climbing good old reverse sweep mountain. It's a dangerous climb. There are pitfalls left, right, and center, and you must be resolved in your approach. And I'm curious what strategy the Redbacks will bring into what could be our 3rd and final game of this opening series. So, all you in that Twitch chat right there, I'm curious, do you think the Redbacks will be able to do it? Do you think STMC will take this one 3-0? I know you guys are all calling for Lemon Juice to be MVP, and I have to agree, his shots have been quite phenomenal. And when you have an MVP performance, well, usually you win those series. So I'm still kind of leaning towards STMC. I do believe they are going to take this one out. As for not Alex, XP Esports Valorant comp win, trust me, I have my eyes open for that as well. Can't tell you if it would happen or not. In fact, I probably shouldn't be talking about it right now, but if it does happen, I'm going to be there watching. So, as we get ready for our next match, here we go. Players are jumping back in on that pitch. STMC Black up 2-0. They won the first game 3-0. They won the second game 3-2. Maybe this time it'll be 3-1. Maybe this time they'll get more than 3. Maybe OC Redbacks can take one back off them. Players are on. Countdown is winding down. This is game number 3. We are underway. Opening kickoff clearly goes in favor of Kenneth in this instance as Batriox has forced the corner and tried to buy the defense some time to recover. Kenneth as well as Luca already attacking, but Lemon Juice was pressing forward as well, and with the ball kind of sailing along the right side of the pitch, he's forced to go back to his own goal. Perhaps an OC Redbacks counterattack could be on the table, except Luca has that height, has to pass to Kenneth. It's off the backboard. Where's the shot? Not quite there. Defense does double commit, but Frank is able to find that second touch and push it through. Lemon Juice back in his own corner, actually has the ball sail over his head, but the speed for the Redbacks not quite fast enough to turn it into an immediate shot. As the defense holding out for now. Triax passing it to Safrax, who takes a shot. Luca able to make that save. As once again, what I find interesting is we are seeing Lemon Juice actually playing a much more conservative game than what we saw in the first one, at least during this initial minute. I know it's kind of odd to bring up as we see Lemon Juice actually attacking at the moment, but it seems as if the strategy for STMC has been to keep Lemon Juice as sort of that third defender. Whether or not this will affect their final scoreline, that's still yet to be seen. I kind of like Lemon Juice a bit more when he's attacking, and that is that prime opportunity. It's going to be Luca instead with the spike, as that ball was sitting in the box for way too long. Frank, unfortunately, didn't beat out his own teammate in Batriox to the touch, and that double commit was especially awkward because had Frank touched the ball, I don't think that is a goal, but Batriox, in a bit of a panic state, tries to make a defensive touch and winds up passing it to the other team. And now STMC looking for that second goal. Not going to find it just yet. Instead, it'll be Lemon Juice. Played through the corner. Kenneth goes up. Kenneth takes the shot. Double commit on defense. Caught by Batriox, but not enough for a complete follow-through just yet. Luca trying to maintain possession. Flicks the ball up. He's going to go up to catch it. No one at this stage. Frank retreating back. Safrax from underneath. Nope, it's actually Luca who goes up for it. Passes it across the center. Frank with the catch. Frank driving it to the corner. Kenneth, what can Kenneth do off of the backboard? Throws it up. Safrax, ooh, had a look, but pulled off it. That does give STMC time to play a bit of defense, and I'm a bit surprised we didn't see more commitment coming from the Redbacks on that attack. It could have been one of those opportunities. Frank now with possession. Oh, loses out on the chance to Luca, who makes another defender miss. That's an open net. That's going to be a goal as Luca makes this one 2-0 with his second goal of game number 3. Luca, you can see it right there, a bit of a slow play and then a late flick to push it in that open net. Luca, I think he kind of got annoyed that everyone was talking about how great Lemon Juice is and is now putting on that performance themselves. 2-0, the scoreline with just under 3 minutes remaining. Redbacks, they need to start getting some offensive pressure going. I do not believe they've even had a shot yet, it feels like, in this third game. As Luca on defense doesn't get the strongest touch. Kenneth from underneath won't be needed. Luca actually is able to find it. But Triax going to put it up themselves. Luca from behind was going for the bump, misses it, but it does throw Batriox off just enough for Kenneth to actually lead and attack. Luca, the next player forward, gets the backward pass. Kenneth is there. That's going to be a 3-0 lead. You could see that one coming as the aggressive positioning is back, it appears, for STMC. Every single time it looks as if the OC Redbacks are trying to go for a solo clear. There is a defender in their face, and 350s, one in a row for STMC. Eventually they get that backboard pass they were looking for. And now 3 goals up, over halfway through this third game. It could be that final game if things don't dramatically change pretty much immediately. Frank able to get the ball off the backboard, but the rest of the attackers are back in mid-pitch. Frax finally pushes forward to a shot, and it's the next member of Triax who does push it in. So the OC Redbacks saying, we're not done yet. Lemon Juice really put that ball in an awkward spot. It looked as if he was trying to almost flick it over the center, but wasn't able to get enough behind that. So OC Redbacks keeping themselves in this game. Still a tough ask to get 2 goals against a very, very strong-looking STMC. However, they did get 2 goals in game number 2. Well, now they have to get 2 goals in 2 minutes while sort of holding off this explosive offense. Ball across the center of the pitch will be collected by Batrax, who tries to push it a bit weak and a bit too far out in front of Zafrax. Means we start to play a little bit of ping pong, at least until Kenneth steals it back off the attackers. Minute 42 remaining. Batrax goes go up for the ball. Luca will catch it mid-pitch, puts it back up for Kenneth, who gets a nice touch back to Luca, driving it towards the corner. Batrax playing defense a bit backwards, and that opens the door for Lemon Juice, who should have the boost and should have the power to make it a 4-1 lead. Finally, STMC do break out of that 3-goal, I guess, limiter. They only got 3 goals in game 1. They only got 3 goals in game 2. But here in game 3, they find that 4th, and I'm starting to feel like that's going to be the one that secures this series. 3 goals in 90 seconds is going to be a bit too much, I feel, for the OC Redbacks to handle. Yet, anything can happen. I've seen crazy games before. Just the other day, in fact, APL did a little bit of a rerun of the greatest comeback I have ever seen. It was 5 goals in 1 minute. So, not writing anything out just yet. We'll see what the OC Redbacks can do. They are on the attacking side of the pitch right now, bumping Luca out of a defensive effort. So Frax tries to come in from underneath, but just did not have that height. And so STMC will keep the attack moving. Kenneth, the base going for the ball, instead gets dunked on by Batrax, and this could be an open door. Good touch by Lemon Juice, able to push it in front of the net. 45 seconds remaining, and a big clear from Kenneth means once again OC Redbacks have to break the offensive rotations from STMC that have just been so stifling time and time again. That nearly was a goal, in fact, for STMC as the ball just slowly rolled in front of the net. No one there to push it through. 30 seconds to go. 3-goal differential. Zafrax trying to force something to happen, pushes the ball a little bit too high. Petrix goes back across the other way. No third member there to take that shot. And we are running out of time. 10 seconds remaining. Luca puts another goal on the board, and that is going to be a victory secured for STMC Black as they advance to a 5-1 scoreline. Just like last week, it will be a 3-0 victory for STMC over the OC Redbacks. Now, the OC Redbacks, they still have another chance to sort of walk away with one of our Marvel coats, as they will be taking on their sister team, you would say. OC Redbacks 2 is going to be taking on OC Redbacks 1. STMC Black, meanwhile, they're going to be moving on to take on Marsden State High School for their second match. But as it stands right now, STM Black, well, they take this one. They win themselves some Marvel codes. They get that clean sweep for a second time, and they continue to sort of be that team to beat amongst Conference A at this stage of the tournament. I mean, another fantastic performance. Luca in Game 3 sort of stepped up to that same level where we saw Lemon Juice in Games 1 and 2. Lemon Juice was obviously brought back to play a bit more of a defensive role, and again, it was a similar story. 8 shots taken by STMC Black, only 2 taken by the OC Redbacks, who found 1 goal in one of those 2 attacks. When the OC Redbacks can attack, they can score goals. It's just those defensive touches were not hit strong enough to really break through those tight, aggressive rotations that STMC were putting forth in front of them. Now, we will be taking a quick break, but when we return, we'll continue with more XP High School League Rocket League action. Just that league that always sounds so unique. Maybe we should come up with a different name, not for the high school league. We need to change the name of Rocket League. We need to call it like Rocket Space Cars or something. I don't know. I'm going to write Psyonix a letter during the break. When we return, more action though, so stay with us. 15 seconds left to see if the Marston Makos can make the Brazil happen. They're going to, as the ball rolls in. A double hat trick for Dead as he finds his 6th goal of the game out of the Makos for STMC Gold, though unable to turn that into attacking pressure. S now goes for a late flip reset, but could not get the wheels on the ball. Chance perhaps for the gold. They actually get it past 2 members. What was that? What just happened to the defense, Mythai? The slow roll gets it past. As you can see, Dead tries to pre-jump it and horribly winds out of position. Last chance for SEMC. Ball sailing over their heads. Medi keeps it in the skies, but they're not going to find the shot. And the Marsden Makos take the series with a 3-0 sweep. No one will get to the ball before overtime. So here we go. First overtime of the afternoon. And it's in game number 1. What you'll want to see, Racing puts a very early shot on target. It gets past the defender. And within 5 seconds, this overtime comes to an end. St. Edmunds off of the kickoff, the shot from Racing. So immediately he's going to have to rotate back. It's up for Din to keep the pressure on, and he is able to do so. Gets it over to Katlapov. It's a pass to Samp, and he will score. Very aggressive start, and that is sort of that go button that I wanted to see pushed. Will turn the pressure right back in favor of St. Edmunds. Good touch initially. Din following through. Pass to Samp. That's so clean. Oh my goodness. You can see the setup coming a mile away. Hello, everybody. Welcome back to XPHSL Rocket League. Today it is week 3, and we're getting ready for game number 2. I'm Captain America, and I'm here to talk about XP Esports' partnership with Intel to give away some Marvel beta codes for this weekend for each and every team that does get that victory today. Of course, the beta is going to be open on the 14th to the 16th of August, and if you don't if you're not part of one of these winning teams, well, you can still go to the XP website and apply to get one of those beta codes. So that information is still out there. It's a lot easier, though, to win a game, I think, because then you know you're going to get it. But before we get too far into our next match, let's take a better look at the standings overall and sort of how this league has been going thus far. As you can see, this here is Conference A. We just saw the likes of the OC Redbacks 2 go up against STMC Black, and STMC Black, well, they got yet another victory in that one, so they will be holding on to that second place. OC Redbacks might be kind of dropping a bit down around where Gold is sitting. Gold, of course, the defending champs, actually. So very interesting to see the defending champs of this league kind of stuck in the middle of the pack right now. It's going to make that fight for the playoffs that much more difficult. Meanwhile, over at Conference B, where our next match will be taking place, it's St. Edmunds atop. St. Edmunds C2 and St. Edmunds C1 in first and second place, respectively. I do believe that one loss from C1 came at the hands of C2. However, Chisholm Maroon sitting in third place, and that's actually going to be our matchup. It will be Chisholm Maroon taking on St. Edmunds C1 in a battle for second place of this ladder. It's going to be an exciting one, I feel, either way. Either of these teams might be able to take it. I think this is going to be probably one of the closer matches we get on stream, and I'm excited to see which direction this game goes. Now, before we get into it, I'd like to once again point out, yes, I still can see the Twitch chat, even despite wearing this mask on at this stage. So if you guys want to support a team, if you want to really cheer them on, well, I want to see that support. I want to see that love for these players as they are out here competing and giving it their all. I do believe we're ready to kick this next match off, however. So as soon as those players do get on the pitch, we will be following straight behind them. As we take one last look at this matchup, Chisholm Catholic College Maroon will be on that blue side. St. Edmunds College Team 1 will be in orange. Again, very interesting to see that it was C1 that actually is in second place, with C2 currently in first place. I'm pretty sure the C1 side probably is going to want to avenge that situation Also should be worth noting that this will be the first time we do see Chisholm Maroon on stream this season. St. Edmunds C1 we have seen before, as we are kicking this match off underway, sort of waiting to get in. Here we are on that pitch. Sorry we missed that initial kickoff, but that's all good as we are going at it. Savage Yonks of the St. Edmunds side getting some initial pressure down, nearly gets the shot, but it's the Mountain with no do that is able to make the save, as Hyped Octros going that other pass. Hyped Octros. Very interesting names on both teams, I must admit, but I kind of like most of them. Obviously, Savage Yonks, one of the best names in this tournament. Always will have high expectations whenever I see the Savage Yonks on the pitch. However, it still is Mountain with no do, trying to get those first shots in. Savage Yonks able to play defensively, went for a bit of a solo play. What I find interesting was Hyped Octocross was actually not giving much spacing at all on that Savage Yonks push, and that's how come Chisholm was actually able to find those tight rotations and look to punish. Now, finally, it does look as if St. Edmunds might be able to get an attack going, but it's Mountain with no do who tries to clear back the other way. Mountain with no do, looking to be the fastest player on the pitch at this stage. Backward pass set up for Marshall, who was trying to follow through themselves. That was less of a pass, more of a double touch attempt. Oh, everyone swinging and missing at the ball as it rolls across the box. Marshall will bang it through, and it's the Chisholm Maroons who take the first goal in this series. Lasso faking out a defender, opening the door for Marshall, and despite a defender being in the box, I believe that was Avail. Yeah, Avail wasn't able to make the save in this instance, so it's the Chisholm Maroons, the team in third place, who actually gets the initial goal on this series. Avail trying to push it across the center of the pitch right now. Does get that pass to Savage Yonks off the backboard. Could see a shot, but Hyped Octros was actually playing more back in the mid-pitch. A double commit on offense means Mount with no do has to make contact. Not only but he does, but he gets the backboard touch as well. The follow-through from Lotso is good, and we are actually looking at a 2-0 Chisholm lead. Not something I was expecting initially when you took a look at the standings. However, Chisholm definitely playing with a bit more speed at this stage than St. Edmunds, and this could be a concerning trend moving forward for our current team in second place, as kickoff goes very heavily in favor of the blue side. The fake does pay off for the Chisholm Maroons. Ball bouncing in a dangerous spot, but Lasso, instead of committing for the attack, it's going to try and play some shadow defense. Avail able to throw it up, and that will roll into the net. A missed opportunity, I feel like, for Lasso in this instance. He could have jumped up to take that shot, as the two defenders behind were actually playing a bit for boost at that moment. Instead, tries to play the Savage defense. Great read coming from St. Edmunds as they're able to find that goal. Avail getting one back on the board, as Avail off the kickoff as well seems to get the better of the situation, but Mountain with no do, continuing to be that fastest player on the pitch, is able to get to the ball first. Loses it out on the challenge though to Hyped Octos, as Lasso is able to catch it in the box. Avail looking for the shot, a little bit too slow, as Lasso is able to make that clutch save, and now Mountain with no do beats a defender but loses possession of the ball. It gets to the backboard where Hyped Octros was there waiting, gets the second touch straight over the middle. That's gonna go in the net, or is it? Lasso finds its way back there, gets the ball off the crossbar to make the save, and now Mountain no do look for a pass to Marshall, but accidentally bumps Marshall off of the play. Lasso tries to throw the ball back into the box, double commit on defense as the pace of the game is starting to quicken. Finally, it looks to be slowing down a fair bit by the hands of St. Edmunds. Still, it could be more of a Chisholm attack right now. Lasso tries to go over the center, doesn't find any touches. Marshall goes up, does not come down with the ball from underneath. It did look like Hyped Octros was there. As we play a bit of ping pong right now, Avail loses out against Mountain versus no do, who eventually tries to throw a pass, but Hyped Octros able to get to the ball first. Ball bouncing in no man's land. Marshall swings, Marshall misses. Double commit by the defense, pushes it straight down the center. Nearly a shot coming out of Hyped Octros, but he wasn't able to get there just in time. Lasso throws it up to Marshall, has it intercepted by Avail. Hyped Octros playing the second member, has the boost, but doesn't use it. The hesitation means Mount with no do nearly creates a scoring opportunity. Lasso with the second touch, ants it past the goalkeeper, and Lasso finds the third goal for the Chisholm Maroons as they take a 3-1 lead. Savage Yonks should have been able to make that save. Unfortunately, hesitated a little bit too much. It was a great touch from the striker in that situation. And the Chisholm Maroons have themselves a 2-goal cushion with 1:42 to go. Ball rolls into the corner. Also should be able to try, gets the clear, gets it over the top of a Veil. Double commit on defense off that backboard. All you need is someone to center it, and it could be a goal. Around the corner we go. No! Shot missed by Marshall, who had that open net. The setup looks so good off of the double commit, and now we get to see the St. Edmunds counterattack. Mount with no Duke gets the demo onto Hype Octros. That should open the door, but too many cars are bunched into the corner. Great second touch off Lasso, wins out on that 50-50, and that was a critical 50 to win because we could have seen that St. Edmunds attack. Mount with no do, keeping pressure on at least momentarily, has to fall back on defense now. Savage Yonks from underneath, doesn't get the flick. Mount with no do, reach the play. It's a triple commit through the corner though on a wide open net. Yet St. Edmunds is not able to find it just yet. What's been very interesting about this game is both these teams are really trying to accelerate the pace of the game. They're each trying to go at the ball as fast as possible, but at times that is leading to defensive mispositioning. Fortunately for each side, they haven't really been punished that hard for it yet, but I've been noticing a lot of double and triple commits and very almost too tight spacing from each side, and whichever team is going to be able to adapt to that first could find themselves breaking away, similar to what we see Chisholm Maroon doing right now, as we watch this replay of Vale just losing out on that 50. Savage Yonks unable to make the defensive read, and at that stage it was sort of an open net situation for the Chisholm Maroons. With that 3-goal lead, they should be able to take game number 1. A very, very strong performance from this blue side. 25 seconds to go until game 1 will be done and dusted. Last chance perhaps for St. Edmunds to try and get something going for them. 15 seconds remaining. Lasso, semi-open net, flicks it up off the backboard. Double commit and both attackers miss. Okay, well, you know, they're having fun with the situation, I suppose. I would have liked to see that one actually get into the goal because you won't get as many open opportunities as that. Yes, the game is over, but it would have been a sick highlight, all right? But let's be real here. Highlights are as much a part of the game as anything else. I want to see those sick montages because then I get all excited, and then our lovely editor gets to put my excited voice over the top of these sick highlights, and I feel like as if I accomplished something as opposed to yelling like a maniac. Either way, Chisholm Maroons do take the first game 4-1 in not the most comfortable of fashions, if I'm going to be completely honest. Taking a look at the shot clock in this, St. Edmunds actually had more shots on target than the Chisholm Maroons. It was 5 shots to 7. However, the reason why the Chisholm Maroons shots were a bit more accurate comes from St. Edmunds' defensive positioning. They were more willing to kind of go for these awkward double and triple commits. And as a result, when they weren't able to like successfully position themselves, Chisholm Maroon, their offensive rotations were fast enough that they were capitalizing on the positional mistakes and finding goals. It's a lot easier to score on an open net than, you know, if there are defenders in the way. And Chisholm did a really good job at forcing those St. Edmunds defenders out. Now, for the St. Edmunds side, when they are on attack, they do look good. I think mechanically, St. Edmunds still might be a little bit more in control of the ball when in the air in particular. However, they weren't playing as much as a team. I feel everyone on the St. Edmunds side was going for those solo plays, and sometimes it was working, but a lot of times it wasn't. And again, we sort of saw some weird, awkward double commits in certain situations. I think if St. Edmunds do calm down, they will make this a very interesting series. I don't like to take too much away from a game 1, especially in a series between 2 top-tier teams like this. I feel each team are going to be making adaptations as these games progress. So do not be surprised if St. Edmunds do start a comeback in game number 2. However, for that to happen, they need to improve their defensive positioning. In particular, no more double commits, no more getting boxed in their own corners. I think we're going to see a tighter game. I do think they will adapt, but once we get on that pitch, we will find out for sure. Now, as we are waiting to get into this next one, yes, we are aware Nightbot has been in the chat having a good old time, but that doesn't mean I don't want to see you guys cheering, okay? Feel free to get loud and, well, you know, reasonably rowdy is the terminology I'm going to use in that chat, all within reason as we get ready to go again. Something I want to point out, which you guys couldn't really see, but came up on my screen, and I don't normally like calling players out, but this time I'm going to. Mountain with no dew. Your Steam logo is a Mountain Dew. The dew is in that Steam logo. You need to edit that out. You need to sort of get some Photoshop going and get rid of the dew. So you have a bottle of Mountain and not Mountain Dew if your name is going to be Mountain with no dew. Either way, the first attack is going to come from the Chisholm side, and what a pass and shot right there for the Maroons. Watching this again, Marshall showing off that individual skill with the dribble, pops it up right to Lasso, who is directly behind. You know that one is communicated, and the first goal will go in favor of Chisholm Maroons. Another thing that has me a little bit disappointed about this game, and I promise this is the last time I'm going to talk about stream profile pictures, but look, Mountain Dew, not the best drink in the world. Dr. Pepper, one of the best drinks. So if we're going to be playing the drink game, yes, that scoreline might be 1-0, but St. Edmunds, I do think, are up over their opponents. My scores don't count, though. It's all about what the players can do on the pitch, and right now, St. Edmunds is looking for that next goal. Hyped Octros puts it across the center. No one's there to follow through, and perhaps you're seeing a more defensive approach from the orange side, which is unfortunately not working out for them just yet. Marshall puts a slow shot. I thought that was good. Unfortunately, not going to find the net on this instance. Mountain with no do, throws it back to the center, but Hyped Octros is there, waiting, willing. Still unable to break the deep offensive rotation, I should say, just yet. Savage Yonks trying to find something. Ball again in a dangerous position. These tight attacks are accurate again and again. Finally, Mount with no do does miss. And this could be an opening, perhaps, for St. Edmunds. Yet immediately they give up on the attack. Marshall back across the middle. Doesn't really find who he's trying to pass it to, so Savage Yonks should be able to get that clear. Doesn't go for the booming touch, however. Lasso did miss with their own shot attack, and a couple of unforced errors. Does have the ball slowly roll towards the blue side of the pitch. That's in semi-open net, yet Avail unable to get there in time. Lasso looking for that long clear. Savage Yonks on defense, goes up on the wall, stops the backboard setup, but it turns into a pass to Marshall. He puts it on target. Savage Yonks able to make the save. Demo as well from Savage Yonks, as he doesn't want Lasso to get anything going for themselves. Next touch by Hyped Octros, gets the ball into the corner, stopped by Marshall momentarily. Ball still in a very awkward place, it feels like, as neither team has really been able to wrestle a big control attack, like a large controlled attack is what I'm trying to say. Like, nothing sustained yet in this game. Both teams definitely have improved in that regard. A shot from Lasso will sail over the top. There were two defenders in the way. It had to be really have that magic touch as we watch this again. Hyped Octros as well as Avail too slow on their attempt. It does lead for that ball to get pushed in. Actually, a bit of an own goal right there by Hyped Octros, I believe. I don't want to be too critical of that one, as that ball was going to be going in regardless. Still, the defense just a little bit slow on those reaction times, and that's been the difference. Pass, caught, shot, score. 3-0 right now for the Chisholm Maroons as we watch this one again. A good touch by Mountain with no do into the corner. Lasso, that's the reaction time that you want to see. The moment he saw he was going to be able to jump up and get to that ball, he knew he had the shot. Defense was still trying to reposition themselves. 3-0 in favor of the Chisholm Maroons, who are well on their way for a true upset today. Lasso nearly puts another one on target as he'll try to play through the corner, passes it up. No one there to catch it just yet. Also, I realized I was incorrect before. I thought the Dr. Pepper logo was on the St. Edmunds side, but no, it is on the Chisholm Maroons side. Dr. Pepper is still better than Mountain Dew. That's the most important takeaway of all this. Marshall takes the shot, stopped momentarily as Mountain with no do does go up for it, but can't get that next touch. Hype Octros, slow clear across the center of the goal. That could have been dangerous had Marshall had boost. He would have been able to push forward and push that one in. Instead, Lasso will be another one who gets another fantastic shot in, and Lasso is playing out of his mind right now. This is why Dr. Pepper is better, because you can get sick angles like this, finding it in that upper left-hand corner. My goodness, Lasso, every time he gets that shot, he is just drilling them right now. And unfortunately for St. Edmunds, they just do not have the answer at this stage. Hype Octros going to throw that ball up. It does not get to the backboard as Mount with no do is able to race up and get their strong backboard defense as well, coming from this Chisholm side, who definitely seem to have the speed in this situation, as Avail trying to set something up. Can't quite get the ball to the ceiling. Now with no do, tries to get it across mid-pitch. Hyped Octros, nice read. Keeps the offensive pressure for St. Edmunds. They need to score on this attack. Hyped Octros has the shot. Lasso from above, and with a late flip is able to make that save. Can Lasso do no wrong at this stage of the game? I thought that was a goal. Well, now it is going to be a goal, but it's going to go the other way. Marshall steals it away from Mountain with no do. As actually, yeah, I want to see who did get that touch. I believe it was Mountain with no do. won the 50, was pushing it towards the net. A miss right there means that, well, Marshall was just able to steal that goal away. We all know that was Mountain with no do who got that goal, and as we continue, 5-0 the scoreline. I'm going to ignore, the moderators, but that's because I ignored them. It doesn't mean you should either. Dr. Pepper, still better. Lasso, shot, not going to find the net. That's all right. Avail, playing through the corner. Goes up for it, gets blocked by Mountain with no do. Savage Yonks doesn't get the follow-through, unfortunately, as Lasso does beat out the attacker in this instance. Only buying time for the defense of Chisholm to sort of react, start to fall back. Another touch straight down the middle. Hyped Octros should be able to just tap this ball in, as it is a very open net. Very unusual situation. It looks as if Chisholm Maroon actually did push everyone. Yep, they pushed everyone forward. Two players actually going for the same boost, a mid-pitch boost, while St. Edmunds was on the attack. So finally we see a crack in that Chisholm Maroon armor. They got a little bit overcommittal, and as a result, we do have a 5-1 lead in favor, as opposed to a 5-0 lead of the Chisholm Maroons. Still think they're going to be taking this second game and really putting their opponents at that tough position down at the base camp of Reverse Sweep Mountain. Haven't seen anyone really make that climb yet. Perhaps it will be STMC, but with Chisholm playing the way they are, it's looking less and less likely. As Mount with no dude does go up, throws it back towards the goal. At Dogtross as well, trying to get some pressure down there. Marshall throwing it across the center of the pitch. Mount with no do, again on the clear. 4 seconds to go as this game is going to drive to its conclusion. Whoa! An own goal to end it. Just more mistakes coming from St. Edmunds. Awkward situation right there, as yes, we can finally get a last look, as you can see. Yeah, with Savage Yonks just pushing it in. I don't think that was entirely unintentional. Probably recognized the game is done, and you know what? I can still get credit for that goal, so I'm just going to go ahead and push that one in. 2-0 the scoreline right now for the Chisholm Maroons as we get ready to go for our third and final game. Well, might not be the final game. I shouldn't say that. Our third game might not be the final game. Will only be the final game if the Chisholm Maroons are going to be able to pull off that sweep. So we're just going to be waiting for the players to ready themselves up and get back into this right now. At this stage, it really does appear as if the speed coming from the Chisholm Maroons have just been too much for St. Edmunds to really handle. As I'm getting a little worried, because St. Edmunds, it's not as if they weren't going for those challenges. They weren't going for those plays, but I don't know. Chisholm Maroons, they were just a little bit faster. They were getting more velocity on those touches, and you could see these aggressive one-on-one challenges time and time again are being won by Chisholm Maroons, either by getting to that ball first or just better positioning in the 50-50. And St. Edmunds, when they're on that back foot, when they're constantly playing that defense, it's become more and more awkward, especially once they start to feel the pressure and you start to see those double commits and at times triple commits. I do feel as if they are able to throw one person at a time. Maybe eventually they will be able to crack those offensive rotations, but that just has not been the case so far in this series. Still time to recover, though. It's just a tough climb, Reverse Sweep Mountain. Base camp. You never really want to be there. It's sort of like all the runoff from the mountain is there. Everything is sticky and gunky, and you really have to break out of your sort of trends in order to make that initial climb. Then you get to base camp 1 and 3, or 1 and 2, I should say, and there you start to feel a little better. You know, that slope doesn't feel as steep. You know, you start to feel good, and you want to keep building on what you did to get out of that initial base camp. However, once you get to base camp 2 and you're making that climb to the summit, that's when things get really difficult because the weather starts to act up, the nerves start to set in because you know one mistake and that entire climb is all for naught. Reverse Sweep Mountain, it is a tricky beast as we are waiting for the players to jump in for our third game. It might not be the final game, but if it is, well, that means St. Edmunds has fallen and Chisholm Maroons have gotten themselves that 3-0 sweep and would be moving to second place in Conference B. Avail has jumped back in, so we will be seeing the players jumping back in now. I do believe we should be kicking off sooner than later as everyone is back into the match. They should be jumping on that pitch now. Last chance perhaps to cheer on St. Edmunds. Last chance to root on Chisholm Maroons. I want to hear who you guys think are going to take it. My pick? Well, it's hard to pick against the team that just won 6-1. I'm leaning towards the Chisholm Maroons. We'll see if they're going to be able to pull it off. Kickoff goes in favor of the Chisholm Maroons as Mount with no do gets a booming shot across the pitch off the backboard. Who Marshall doesn't make the read, and Lasso is actually on the other side of the pitch, so semi-open net right now. Past the Lasso won't be caught. Savage Young unfortunately does go underneath. as we see Marshall. Ooh, nice 360, but doesn't make contact with the ball. Avail trying to push it back. Ball rolling across the center of the pitch. Hyped Octros will be the one to catch it. Gets challenged by Mount with no do. Losing out. Ball in the box. Shot coming from Marshall. Doesn't make contact with the ball. Savage Yonks has time to get the clear, but it's a weaker touch. Fortunately for St. Edmunds, no one's there to challenge initially. Mount with no do takes the shot. Caught by the defense. Fall through by Marshall. Not quite there. And so far, it's been a quiet game from this player, Lasso. It was a good attempt off the backboard and into Marshall, who will get the goal. 1-0 for Chisholm Maroons, and they are continuing where they left off previously. You can see Lasso, he saw the angle is a bit too tough for the shot, instead placed the backboard. A double commit on defense from the Lasso touch means an open net, and Marshall has the wherewithal to drill that one straight on through, and Chisholm Maroons, again, this dynamic offense just bearing fruit as they have that 1-0 lead. Marshall throwing it up to try to continue this attack. A double commit on defense. Fortunately, Hyped Octros is behind, clears it straight down the center, but Mount with no do. Waiting within the box will throw it against the wall, buying time for the defense to recover. As Savage Yonks now, see if he can get much going. Not quite. Lasso makes the play from the box, actually gets it all the way back to the orange side, but does get bumped in the process, which means Marshall has to follow through. Avail, weak touch, caught by Lasso, gets it off the backboard, but Savage Yonks can make the read. Mount with no do. Oh no, a bit of a miscommunication, it looks like, coming from Chisholm. Mount with no do should have been able to sort of just really dunk it off of his teammate right there and get that pressure. I'm not sure why Lasso, though, was sticking on the ball. I feel like they should have started a rotate or maybe even gone for the bump in that situation. As it stands, they won't get punished too much. In fact, Mount with no do is going to put a shot on target. Marshall unable to catch the rebound. Savage Yonks looking to play straight down the center. Only one defender there, or is there? Mount with no do able to recover as Lasso was distracted by the bump attempt coming from the side of St. Edmunds. Lasso, good backboard pass to his own team, but no one's there to catch it. Hyped cross. Octros able to throw it up to himself, goes for the double touch. Defense bumping into each other. Ball in a dangerous spot, but Savage Yonks doesn't push forward on the attack. Instead, sitting behind. Lasso now with possession. Kind of tries to muscle it. Now, we're seeing more challenges actually coming from the St. Edmunds side. It doesn't look as if the Chisholm Maroons are allowed to get away with that as much, particularly in the middle of the pitch. However, they still are pushing towards that orange net. Savage Yonks clears it across the box, off of the backboard. Caught by Hyped Octros. Savage Yonks from underneath throws it across the pitch. Lasso able to react. Marshall's immediately behind him, but the ball stays high. Savage Yonks does unfortunately drive it right back down into Marshall, who continues to push the ball along the side of the pitch. Actually might have beaten out the defender. Speed in favor of the Chisholm Maroons yet again. 2-0 that scoreline as Chisholm continues to add on to their lead. Hyped Octros unfortunately didn't have the right line selected when going for that shadow defense. It was a good read coming from the Chisholm Maroon side, and a 2-0 lead in a series that they are currently up 2-0 with 2 minutes remaining tells me that this could be our second 3-0 sweep today. Lasso tries to push it through the box, gets it off the backboard. Double commit on defense means a semi-open net. Avail. The last defender does throw the ball high into the sky, which will buy time for St. Edmunds to recover. In fact, they might even be able to get some attack going for themselves. It was a bit disorganized. Marshall now with possession. Does not beat out Hyped Octros, who gets the dunk straight down the middle. And that is St. Edmunds C1 getting on the board in this third game, continuing to try and stay alive as we watch this dunk again. Nice read, right on target. Beautifully played by Hyped Octros. And that makes this third game a little bit more interesting again. Chisholm Maroons no longer have that 2-goal cushion. They need to be cautious because one more goal could send us into a golden goal situation, be it in regulation or in overtime. Savage Yonks can't quite make contact with the ball. This is actually dangerous across the middle of the pitch. Hyped Octros didn't get the shot. He went for it, was trying to get that power, but wasn't able to make contact, and that buys the defense enough time to recover. Still, it is the St. Edmunds side on the attack momentarily. Mount with no do. Does get beaten by Savage Yonks, but the follow through from Lasso will take that ball straight down the center. Ball in no man's land. Faster team will get there first. It's Lasso passing it back to Marshall, who didn't get the drive I think Marshall was looking for. Still able to catch it off the wall. Ball will get to the corner. Will roll into the box. The shot was there from Marshall, but it was not quite accurate enough. Lasso, tight offensive rotations though, keeps the ball on the orange side of the pitch. Avail, desperate to try and get one last attack, perhaps going for St. Edmunds. They need that goal to stay alive. Lasso lets the ball slip behind him. Marshall goes for the 50, does win out. Avail stops the counterattack momentarily. Ball though still gets to that backboard. Ball in the box. Hyped Octros gets there first, but Mount with no do will keep the ball on that orange side. Savage Yonks going for a cross-pitch pass, trying to find the gaps in those offensive rotations, but Mountain with no do is going to shut that gap down. Ball off of an awkward angle. Lasso throws it back over to Marshall, gets stomped on. Well, not dunked on, but does get stopped by Hype Octros, but the stop wasn't enough to break the offensive rotations just yet. 20 seconds remaining. Finally, St. Edmunds back on the blue side of the pitch. They need the goal to take it to overtime. 15 seconds, last chance perhaps to do it. Marshall with possession of the ball, slowly pushing it across the center of the pitch. Does get challenged, does lose out, but Mount with no do gets to the ball first. We're back on the orange side with 5 seconds to go. A goal will end this game. Marshall, light touch, can't push it through. Hype Octros has to get underneath the ball, gets their shot on target, but it is short. And the Chisholm Maroons take it 3-0 in a very exciting and dramatic conclusion. However, that goal, it was pushing a little bit to the right. I'm not sure it would have gone in, but the shot was there, and perhaps another 2-3 seconds, and we could have been seeing an overtime. St. Edmunds, they fought to the bitter end, but at the end of it all, it was just too much. Chisholm Maroons, they were a bit too quick. Lasso in particular, I feel like was playing absolutely insane whenever he touched the ball. A bit more of a reserved performance in game number 3. Yet as a whole, the Chisholm Maroons, their pass plays were a little bit more dynamic. Their speed was definitely more dynamic. And those offensive rotations were so tight and so challenging for St. Edmunds to beat, as St. Edmunds never really seemed to get height on their defensive touches. They kept trying to play on the ground, and Chisholm Maroons were able to sort of make those reads time and time again and get themselves that 3-0 victory. On that note, though, that will do us today here at XP Esports for our HSL Rocket League. It's been another fun one as we approach our playoffs of Season 2, with each and every game just meaning more and more and more. Similarly, though, with the end of Week 3, a big congratulations to all those teams who came out victorious, as they will be getting themselves a beta key for Marvel Avengers. Again, that beta is going to be available this weekend, 14th to the 16th. If you win your series, well, message someone in our team here on the Discord, and we'll get you your beta keys. But if you want to get a beta key for yourself, well, you can still apply. Just follow the links through XP Esports, and you will have a chance to try and get one. Now, that will conclude us for today. A big thank you to all of our sponsors. A big thank you for Intel as well for providing those beta keys, ZQ Racing, Computer Alliance, and I look forward to seeing you all next week. Good night, everybody.
We are